Hi, Mark from Ridge Runners here, and the last of our 3 videos on equipment and kit for the trail races. Today we're going for a little bit more, we're going for comfort. And for me, I spend 5 hours when I'm doing a trail marathon, so that comfort is really, really important for me. The first thing is I'm going to upgrade the vest to a 12-litre vest from a 10. The UD one I showed you in the last video was 10 and this is 12, but the main reason is this is super stretchy. And some of the stuff I'll show you later is a bit bulky, so I don't have to worry about squeezing it in and not fighting with the pack. It just all goes in here. I've used this pack for 24, 30-hour ultras and it's been amazing. The main reason for going to the pack though, apart from size, is the fact that I put a bladder in the back of it. I'm really, really bad at keeping hydrated when I use bottles. I just don't drink. I don't know why, I forget. But if I've got a pipe in front of me, then I do remember. The pipe just seems to remind me, and I keep sipping on it all day long and I stay hydrated. As you know, the food you eat, it requires water to convert it into energy. So if I don't drink for 2 hours, I run out of energy. So having a bladder is a big thing. The bottles, it is easier and quicker at a checkpoint to fill them up, because with a bladder you have to take the vest off, you get it added through the back, so it could take a minute or two to top them up. But really for me, staying hydrated is actually critically important, and I probably make that back by being hydrated and well fed throughout the race. The next thing is a dry bag. It's a joke about Wales and rain, but seriously, if I want to keep stuff dry, I get a dry bag. There's so little and light, why not? I mean, really. So in there, I'll chuck in my thermals. And then the next thing I'm going to put in, you may not need it for our race because it's a trail race in Cardiff, but if I was going out for a day in the beacons in the mountains, I'd take it with me. As you all know about clothes, it's all about layers. So I'm going to put a mid layer in. You can get mid layers, they're quite pricey these days, but if you go for a really lightweight one like this, but you know, put a hoodie in or something like that if you don't want to spend the money. But have a mid layer, because if I'm in the mountains on my own and I get injured, I've got my thermals, I've got a mid layer, I've got my waterproofs, I'm going to be safe and warm, and that's really, really critical. These mid layers these days, they are bomb proof, they are so good. I've bought this in and out of this pack so many times and it still looks like new, and I've had it for 6 years. So that's in there. Right, next on the top is my first aid kit. Now the difference with this first aid kit, the one I showed you in the video before, is that this one has, wait for it, Lucozade. You're going to have wet feet all day. Running for 5 hours in Wales, you're going to have wet feet. Probably in the summer you might be lucky, but I guarantee most of the time you're going to have wet feet. The traditional plasters, wet feet, they'll be off within 30 seconds. So what you do is you have a bit of Lucozade, you put your plaster on and you put Lucozade over the top. I've got a pair of scissors in there as well to cut it to size, and the Lucozade is bomb proof. I tell you, your plasters won't be coming off. And for the few extra grams, if I've got a blister an hour into a race and I've got another 4 hours to go, it can ruin my day. It may even end up in a DNF, whereas I can treat a hot spot really quick with this and I'm away and gone. So Lucozade. These bags, they can catch a little bit of air in them, so it takes a little bit of squeezing just to get the air out to get it in your pack. So the next change is the waterproof. Gone is the Minimus, and this is a Columbia OutDry, but Gore-Tex would be the same, but I'll explain the difference now. When you go for a really lightweight race jacket like the Minimus, they have very, very little protection for the waterproofing membrane. And that means that when you're wearing a backpack and it's chafing on the shoulders, your waterproof won't last long. And I mean a month, 2 months. You spend £200 on a set of waterproofs, and within 2 months it's letting in water. It's not that the waterproof's no good, it's the fact that it's chafed and it doesn't have the protection. So these ones, it's a bit like an old Sou'wester. It's got like a plastic film on the outside. I really, really like this. It's breathable and everything. But for those who like Gore-Tex, really it's exactly the same sort of stuff. With Gore-Tex, what they do to protect the Gore-Tex fabric is they put a cotton type fabric on the outside which protects it. If you go for a race one, then that fabric would be really light. If you go for a durable, it gets heavier. The result is not really much heavier, but it is a lot more bulky. And as you can see with this jacket, I can't really squeeze it down. So I'm not paying for it in weight, but I am paying for it in bulk. Shove that in there. And that's where, this is where my TARDIS comes in. It looks bulky, but it's not heavy. Waterproof trousers. Okay. As I said, it looks a bit bulky, but it really, it's not heavy at all. Right. We didn't put compulsory kit as gloves, but these are grams. Why not? I mean, you know, it's middle of winter in Wales. I'd have them. What I do want to mention though is that I actually have fingerless gloves because a lot of the time you're messing with your phone, and when you stop to mess with your phone for say navigation purposes or you're working with your compass, you need your fingers out, but you get cold really, really quick. So anything that keeps you warm, a pair of lightweight gloves with the fingers. I can do the map work, and I've got stuff to keep me toasty warm. The other thing is I bring is a windproof layer. I know I've got the waterproof, but sometimes that waterproof can be a bit heavy and a bit sweaty. So I've got a nice windproof layer. Again, it's a bit bulky, but there's no weight to it at all. So I wear this, and at the start of the race I can have it on, but it goes on and off really quick. I'm not faffing around with my waterproofs, so I carry that there as well. Talking about survival, well, I've got rid of the thermal blanket and I've now gone for a bivy bag. These are a little bit more expensive and it's a few grams more, but actually this is waterproof, so and it covers my whole body. So if I'm out in the mountains for the day, then if I have any problems, I can get in there. I've got my mid layer, I've got my thermals, and this is probably, I could probably sleep out in the beacons overnight with this, and I'd be toasty warm. So that's going to save my life. One of the other things that I tend to wear as well is sleeves. And you may think, why have I got a pair of sleeves, just wear a long sleeve top? When I run, I get really, really hot. A lot of people get in touch with this about kit and they go, oh, why do I need all that kit? Because I'm hot. And I run hot too. But when it starts raining, the best waterproofs in the world, you will get wet. A lot of it's sweat. It's rather disgusting, really, but it could be sweat or whatever it is. You will get wet. That misty, horrible drizzle you get in the mountains. So what you need to do is you need to get the water away from your skin so you stay comfortable. So I'll shove these on once it starts raining, jacket over the top, and these really work well at wicking the water away from your skin into that gap between these and the waterproof. And I feel so much more comfortable with these. Really, really lightweight. They are a bit pricey, but these are 6, 7 years old now and they're still like new. So really, you buy it once and then they're there, and whenever it's raining, I'm comfortable. Bit more food than I've done a video on the minimum kit, so there's over 1,000 calories there. Compass for when I'm on my own in the mountains or with somebody, but it's not our compulsory race kit. But a lot of races do have its compulsory kit, and if I'm on the mountains, I always take it with me. The other thing we don't have a compulsory race kit is a whistle. If I'm out in the mountains on my own, I always take a whistle. If the mist is down, people won't be able to see you, but they will be able to hear you with one of these. It's not heavy, it's only a piece of plastic. And if you go to a sports shop and get a football one, the referee ones, I tell you, they're so unbelievably loud. People will hear you for flipping miles on the mountains. And one day, those few grams are going to save my life because the mist is going to be down. I've turned an ankle. I'm getting cold and wet and everything, and I'm blowing the whistle 6 times every minute. Mountain Rescue will find me, and that's it. 3 grams, saved my life. While we're talking about comfort, Bodyglide, a little Bodyglide stick. As I say, when you're doing a mountain marathon or any type of trail marathon, you're probably going to be 4 or 5 hours out. And if you get a hot spot after an hour, you spend a lot of time and money doing your training for this race and everything. To be miserable about it, just for the hot spot, for the sake of a few grams, just to solve a hot spot and be a lot more comfortable, why not? So a little bit of body glide or something like that, removes chafing, whatever. And that's it. There's one other little thing that you may want to think about, and I always carry it with me, and that is a power cell. They're quite light these days, and you can see this is quite little. It's sort of like the size of a finger, and therefore you could put this in your pack. And when you're racing, you get so stressed the night before, and sometimes you just forget to charge your phone or you forget to charge your watch, and you probably don't really need it. But I can guarantee when you're used to having your phone with you, it ends up being a bit of a comfort blanket. So I always take this with me. There's a little cable, it connects to my watch and to my phone, and I know then that I've always got access to power. I'm not going to get halfway around the race and my phone has died. And that's it. Again, the whole it looks a bit bulky, but I'd say it's about £1 to £2 more than the minimum race kit. And I tell you what, when I'm out for 4 or 5 hours, I've got all that stuff in there. I'm going to be a lot more comfortable than I would with just the minimum race kit. So I hope I've given you a bit of a flavour for some of the things that you may want to consider carrying with you on race day. That's just going to make your day so much more enjoyable and comfortable. And really, ultimately, we are doing this for fun. So I hope there's some good stuff in there. That's it. If there's any questions about any of the videos, drop me a line and I'm quite happy to do another one if you think it's helpful and I can give you some more information. So enjoy yourselves. Hope you sign up for the race and enjoy our day. See ya.